We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. Welcome to Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Our guest star today, our guest rock star, is Ben Lee, CEO and co-founder of Neon Roots. Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Pretty interesting what you're doing here.
Yep.
And it's all in the digital space.
That's right. So entrepreneurs, entertainment folks, media companies want to build a digital property. We're the guys they call. Mm-hmm. So lots of stuff.
A lot of people are late, too, in this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a great example would be we just built about 4 apps for Tony Robbins and his organization. They had struggled working with vendors in the past, figuring out what makes a good app successful in the market. So we worked with him and were able to launch his product in 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Did you always want to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Came from hospitality world, so I kind of hustled my way through being a busboy to restaurant manager, started learning tech. You know,
busboy's got to be the worst job. I did that. It's just,
you got to start somewhere, you know?
I know, but it's still, I rather wash dishes and.
Fair enough. Totally. I kind of like being on the floor, so you get to kind of see all the action. At the time, it was a pretty high-profile place, and then just started learning tech. Wanted to get into something new. Started building websites for a lot of the restaurant connections I'd made, people in my network, and that evolved into, you know, what today's Neon Roots.
It's an entry job, but it's not a long-term job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hated people that put their napkins on their plates.
Yeah,
stack.
No, it teaches you etiquette. Now, I mean, I know how to fold napkins. I know how to set up. You know, it teaches you.
When do you use
how
that
to be
skill?
Groomed. You know, Thanksgiving.
So you always wanted to be an entrepreneur. How'd you know that you had this gift in you?
You know, born and raised in LA, you get the entrepreneurial bug quickly. I was throwing parties in high school, so everyone was focused on kind of, you know, getting wasted at the party. I was focused on the business logistics of the party.
Keeping the cops away.
Keeping the cops away, making sure, you know, nobody was stealing from the register.
Right.
So I'd been doing that since I was, you know, a teenager.
So it's a natural talent that you had.
Yeah.
And in the hospitality world, what part of the world were you in?
All, like, pretty much every bit. So restaurants to nightclub. I had done nightlife management. I opened up my first restaurant when I was 20, called Kitchen 24. So that's on Cahuenga in Hollywood, kind of a modern 24-hour diner. I needed something that provided a little bit more scalability, better lifestyle. As you probably know, hospitality industry that's your life. You know, you're fully committed.
How many
to that.
stools are in the diner?
About 150 seats. So during after the club.
That's not a diner, it's a restaurant.
Well, it's a restaurant.
Right.
Between 2 to 5, we do like about 500 covers. So that's our busiest time. Everybody after the club wants to get some, you know, greasy food in or whatever. And
I understand. There's a place where I grew up called the Hamburger Inn.
Okay.
Had 9 seats.
Yep.
The building was about not much bigger than this studio. And one chef. And they sold hamburgers for like 25 cents when I was growing up. Now they're 50. And they're this big. And then I tried to buy it. Yeah. Because I loved the place. And it was in my hometown. And it's just, I'll show a picture to you. But they wouldn't sell me the name.
Interesting. Yeah,
they said, well, the name is the whole thing.
Totally. They wanted to probably license it or, you know.
So somebody else bought it and turned it into a taco place.
Wow. But
the Hamburger Inn is like, yeah, we've all had these places that everyone went to. This thing is really gone. I mean,
yeah, in 5 years, it's been really fun to see it grow. And we get to work with a lot of amazing creatives. A
bunch of my friends.
Yeah, a lot of your friends.
Tony Robbins, Snoop
Dogg. We're working with Cash Money Records, their label this week for a new product.
Right.
Diantword. They're a South African rap kind of electronic group. Spotify, Concord Music Group, which is obviously Bruce Springsteen's, you know.
Well, so I love Spotify. And they just keep getting better.
Yeah.
We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. I'm Pat O'Brien. This is Business Rockstars. Ben Lee is with us here. We both agree on a bunch of things so far. One is Spotify is great.
Spotify's good.
A lot of people didn't think they would last. Remember?
A lot of people. I don't think Apple Music did as good of an execution as they would have wanted. Spotify seems like they've got, you know, the market, and they really know how to innovate.
When did you know you were going to be successful in this piece?
I would say when we moved into our new house. It's a 4,500 square foot house in West Hollywood. It's got the pool and, you know, very modern design.
Been in that pool
modular.
last few days?
What's that? No. Yeah, it's been getting pretty wet.
Cold.
But it's, you know, kind of when you get that house and everyone starts to look at you, you're like, oh, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Hey, can I borrow some money?
Well, appearance is appropriate.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I kind of always like to fly under the radar, be pretty low key about my business and assets and stuff. But, you know, once you get the big house and, you know, people start saying,
Be
oh,
careful.
You're doing well.
It can go as quickly as it can.
I know, yeah.
So you know that.
I know that.
So do people contact you?
Yeah. We're lots of kind of referral basis. So we have about 25 applicants per month who want to just start our workshop, which is Rootstrap. So that's the pre-development cycle. That's a 3.5 weeks, you know, let's figure out what we're building together. Let's make sure it's the right product, arming you with a team to execute on it. I'd say about less than a quarter we're actually accepting into the program. So we have 4 seats in LA and then 2 in New York that we do every month. And it really varies from startups. So the 2-person founder who's like, I have an idea for an app. I've never done this digital thing before, but I want to execute on it, to, you know, the media moguls like Snoop or Tony Robbins.
You know, apps seem to be the unreachable goal, right? I mean, I always thought maybe I should get an app, but then I thought, for what?
And, you know, that's kind of the unique value prop of what we offer.
App.
We tell a lot of people, you know, don't build this. So that's why they're paying us a premium to do this Rootstrap. And maybe the market's too crowded or the margins are too thin. And oftentimes, you know, you're dealing with entertainment folks who are stubborn. They're like, no, this is the best app idea possible. I'm definitely going to be successful, Ben. They want to
send me the check.
They want a yes man guy who's like, okay, I'll build it. And we say, don't do it. They call us a couple months later and say, you know what, you saved us $500,000 in a year of our life. And we get a lot of those calls. So asking why is almost as important as figuring out or knowing how to build an app.
Right. Take me through the app process.
Sure. So it all starts with that pre-development workshop. So that's called Rootstrap. Again, we host it in LA, New York. That's when we're really focusing on who are our targeted users, what's the design of this going to look like, what's the functionality, how long is it going to take us to get to market. So it's, again, a private incubator, a business in a box where you get to have this tech team on demand and you're like, okay, Neon Roots guys, you know, help me figure this stuff out.
Have you ever said no to somebody?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. Part of the experience is,
I mean, you don't see every opportunity as a money-making one, obviously.
No, and that's, you have to, as you know, everything is relationships. So if we're going to take on a product and empower a founder where we know an app might not be successful, where does that leave us in a year? We're building a, you know, crappy product that won't make it. That, you know, that's not what we want. So we try to really educate people on, again, why they should be building it, take them through a process to really validate that they need an app. And then if they do, we're going to build it. But we say no probably more than we say yeah.
I'm sure, yeah, because you're smart. Who's your favorite entrepreneur?
Elon Musk, I'd say. And it's probably a standard answer, but it's
a big answer.
It's a big answer.
Steve Jobs and him.
Elon Musk is kind of trying to do everything. So either
he's a risk taker.
He's a risk taker.
And he doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, cares, but
he's to me, he's innovated, you know, innovated more than some of the biggest guys out there, you know, like the Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. So yeah, for me, it's still Elon.
All right. And do you have a mentor?
I do. Yeah. I've got 2 mentors, kind of one more on the academic side, one more business side. That's been the most important thing in business. You know, you You can have partners, you can have lawyers, advisors, but if you don't have a mentor who's a real friend that, you know, you can call up and say, you know, hey, you know, what do I do in this situation?
What just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. This is Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Back in a minute. We are here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. Welcome back to Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Ben Lee is our rock star of the moment. Are you a rock star?
I'm a tech rock star of sorts.
Yeah, well, just say it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a rock star.
I'm a rock star.
Okay. Let's talk about the app world.
Sure.
Why are some free and why are some not free?
Totally depends on the business model. It's like building a house. You need to hire the architect. We're your architect. We're helping spec it out. How many floors is it going to be? Is there going to be a pool?
Right.
What's the design going to be? All these things, you know, make up an app.
How deep's it going to go?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a full production. You know, there's a lot of players involved. When you're dealing with games as well. You've got sound designers, sound engineers, art directors. So tremendous amount of resources go into building this.
We'll get to your stuff in a minute, but there's just seems to be a lot of apps.
Yeah.
They all can't be making money.
No, and Apple's working on kind of
I've got most of them
flushing out the ones that aren't updating
Right.
or people who just kind of park apps. But yeah, that's a continuous problem or rather challenge. How do you get noticed in the App Store when it's getting so crowded?
How do you?
Growth hack. You gotta figure out how to growth hack. So that's kind of a fancy word for building an audience. You know, with celebrities, it's a little bit easier. You know, you've got to build an audience. When you're a single entrepreneur or single co-founder, you need to buy users, user acquisition. You know, do ads on Facebook. You need to do a lot of different things to figure out what's working and identifying who those users are. So, you know, how you can be a little bit proactive is start collecting emails, start collecting some user data, understanding who those users are of your app, and then, you know, if it's working, double downing and trying to build a bigger audience.
I understand the celebrity part because it's not easy, but
sure,
you kind of start ahead of the crowd. But what's the normal kind of app? What's the number one theme in apps? Self-help, buy stuff, maps.
There's, you know, also Uber, for example. Uber has really revolutionized the on-demand component. So everybody now wants to try to see if they can kind of leverage that on-demand success.
That's come and gone.
You know, oh, I want to be creating Uber for this. So that was a really popular theme. Right now, also kind of influencers, you know, how can brands and influencers, you know, be connected? So people are trying to create communities or platforms that connect influencers and brands. That's, again, another interesting challenge. Right now, it's still very high touch. There's a lot of managers involved and different personalities and assistants. So it's not as easy as it sounds to get, you know, an influencer or celebrity to do a brand activation or a deal. So people are trying to streamline that with technology.
You have 36 people working for you. Are they all in the States?
So no, we're distributed between LA, Montevideo, which is in Uruguay, New York, and the Bay Area.
Right. And where does most of your business come from?
I'd say LA.
Yeah.
We're kind of known as the entertainment agency. So, you know, we did augmented reality before it even was a thing.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go through the steps. So let's say I come up with an app.
Yep.
Or an idea. You never come up with an app,
yeah.
right? So I say, Ben, I got an idea for an app. Now what?
So first, we're going to say, Pat, are you going to be committed to this? Right. You know, we don't want product owners who are like moonlighting as, okay, you know, I'm going to be doing this, and then I'll come see you guys on the side and build an app.
Right.
That always fails.
I come to pick up my check.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So if you're fully committed to it, you know, that's probably one of the first requirements that we're looking for in terms of
what does
partnership.
Committed mean?
It's about a 20-hour-a-week commitment to start. You know, you're working with a development team or design team. You're hands-on in this process. So it doesn't work like you're giving us an idea and then you're coming back in 6 months and we're saying, hey, we hope you like it. You're seeing it constantly build and grow.
You're part of the development process.
Absolutely.
Well, you're smart because you could waste a lot of your time developing this app, and then they go, it sucks.
A lot of companies tend to black box, you know, you as the product owner. So Pat wants an idea, they black box you from that process, it never works.
Right.
So you need to be involved in it. You got to go through the process of
Black box sounds so cruel.
That's you know, that's what they call it.
Right.
You got to go through the process of pre-development part, validating that, you know, there is something there, and then building it and testing it.
How hard is it to come up with new ideas?
I'd say right now.
I gave you an idea, but there's a couple of those out there, but not a lot.
People are, you know, the community has grown so much in terms of the app development community. I find it harder to innovate than it used to be. I still believe there's plenty of room for innovation, and there's new technologies now with whether it's machine learning or artificial intelligence. There's all this new tech that you can innovate new products. So it's not a matter of like, you know, is innovation gone? It's just newer technology.
Right. And how loaded does the app have to be? In other words, what's a good word? How deep?
No, it's a great question. I love answering that question because, especially in entertainment, there's this preconceived notion of this red carpet release, that you need to release an app kind of like how I released my last movie, and that's totally wrong. An app should be minimal in functionality, so you test, learn, and iterate on it, meaning you put something out there, lower risk, make sure people like it, and then you continue to build on it incrementally.
Right. Because some apps are easy, like sports apps.
Yeah.
Are easy because it's scores and highlights and that sort of thing. What's not easy? That's the one I want.
What's not easy? When you start working with a lot of the algorithms, you know, the recommendation engines or chatbots, you're dealing with technology that is still, you know, constantly developing and being refined. So most of the, I guess you call it the, you know, the AI, the artificial intelligence stuff, that stuff gets more complex than your kind of typical consumer app, which is, you know, maybe a Postmates or something else. But there's so much areas for continued growth in the AI that, you know, we're investing in.
And content is king. That's why Tony Robbins, right?
Absolutely.
He's got so much content.
Yeah, and when we met Tony, you know, he had boxes of, you know, DVDs and CD-ROMs that he's had for like probably 30 years.
CD-ROMs.
And he needed them digitized. Literally. Like that was our research, and we had to hire someone on Craigslist just to like transcribe it for us because we didn't own a DVD player. We couldn't find one. So we had to kind of figure out what to do with this content when we first started the project with him. And now he's, you know, full digital. He's on iOS and Android.
That's why for the Oscar season, and they don't send out DVDs anymore.
Right.
You get a code, you buy it on iTunes, or
download code or
iTunes. What's the challenge for you now? You seem to be pretty well embedded, but you got to be thinking of
I would
next.
say, you know, education, working with the right people. There's always going to be product owners or clients or customers who, you know, think it's really simple to build an app, or that it doesn't require their full attention. So making sure we work with the right people, you know, I think that's the biggest thing. There's opportunity costs where these projects can take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So we want to make sure we're working with the right people that are going to be successful.
That would mean patient people too.
Patient people too. Yeah, absolutely.
Where do you want to be quickly 5 years from now?
We want to be building games. I'd say creating our own content as well. That's something, as you said, content is
Owning
king.
It.
Yeah.
Ben, thanks.
Thanks
for coming in.
All right.
We'll look for my app here soon.
Sounds good.